Very good morning. You're watching News at 10 on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. And well, our big story is coming in from Manipur, where N. Bireen Singh-led BJP government is all set to face floor test today. All the details on that big story and much more in this bulletin. Let us start with the headlines. Yogi Adityanath, sworn in as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, in first meeting with Council, directs them to give details of income and assets within 15 days. Five-month-long economic blockade in Manipur lifted after successful tripartite talks. Newly formed BJP-led government faces floor test in the assembly today. Jats suspend march to Delhi after marathon meeting with Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar in Delhi. Protest leaders say demands of the community have been met. Fierce fighting between security forces and rebels in eastern outskirts of Damascus. Artillery shells and rockets land in the heart of Syrian capital after surprise rebel attack in Jobar district. And India looked to push for a win on final day of Ranchi Test against Australia. Visitors trailed by 115 runs as they resumed their second innings at 23 for 2. Well, a big relief for people in Manipur as the 5-month-long economic blockade in the state was lifted on Sunday after successful talks between the centre, the state government and the Naga groups. Well, the blockade was imposed by the United Naga Council on November 1st last year to protest against the creation of 7 new districts by the Ibobi Singh-led Congress government in the state. Well, the blockade on 2 national highways, NH2 and NH37, has now been lifted. Remember, it led to steep rise in the prices of essential commodities and had severely affected normal life in the state. Now, appreciating the first step, Manipur Governor Najma Heptulla said that the lifting of the blockade will usher in an era of peace and prosperity. Now, Manipur Chief Minister N. Bireen Singh said that the lifting of the blockade was just the beginning and that his government was trying to fulfill all the promises that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had made to the people of the state. Earlier, a joint statement issued stated that there would be unconditional release of the arrested UNC leaders and all cases related to the economic blockade against the Naga tribal leaders and student leaders will be closed. Well, the joint statement said that the next round of tripartite talks would be held within a month.
Tripartite talks of today have successfully concluded, and like all the 3 parties discussed the pending issues, and we have resolved virtually all the issues. And one good news I have to share is this economic blockade is going to be lifted tonight.
Government of Manipur accommodate our sentiment, our opinion. And also, the government of India also accommodate the sentiment of the Naga people, for which we have agreed upon to.
And the newly sworn-in BJP government in Manipur will face its first test today as Chief Minister N. Bireen Singh will face the floor test in the 60-member Manipur Assembly. Remember, the BJP won 21 seats in the state and it formed the state government with the support of 4 each MLAs of NPP and NPF, 1 MLA of the LJP, and each one lawmaker of the Congress party as well as Trinamool Congress, who later joined the Saffron party. Well, remember, the Congress had won 28 seats in the assembly, but it lost out on government formation, and the party later alleged that the BJP was stealing power. News from the national capital now, and the Jats agitating for quota have called off their proposed march to Delhi today. Well, this came after marathon 4-hour meeting between Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar and Jat leaders in Delhi, in which several of the demands were agreed upon yesterday. Well, after the meeting, Khattar said that the process to include the community in the central list of OBC category would be initiated soon after the chairman of the National Commission for Backward Classes was appointed. He also agreed to reconsider the cases filed against Jat protesters and investigate the police officers who have been accused of excess use of power. Now, Jat leader Yashpal Malik said the community will call off its strike from most of the places in the state, barring a few places where it will continue with symbolic protests. Meanwhile, 4 police officers were injured in Haryana's Fatehbad district yesterday as they tried to stop a group of Jats from moving towards Delhi. Remember, the Jats had planned massive protests in the national capital, including a siege to the Parliament House complex, demanding reservations in jobs and education. Now, heavy security arrangements were made by the police in the national capital, which will remain today in place as well.
आपसी समझ से हम लोगों ने एक सहमति बनाई है। उस सहमति के जो कुछ मुख्य बिंदु रहे हैं आपके सामने मैं वो रख रहा हूं। केंद्र के आरक्षण के लिए, क्योंकि हरियाणा के बाद केंद्र में भी आरक्षण मिले, इस नाते से हमारे बीच में चौधरी वीरेंद्र सिंह जी और श्री पीपी चौधरी जी, इन लोगों ने हमको जो जानकारी दी है और एक विश्वास दिलाया है कि राष्ट्रीय पिछड़ा वर्ग आयोग, उसके चेयरमैन और जो सदस्य हैं, उनकी नियुक्ति के होते ही केंद्र में जाट आरक्षण की प्रक्रिया ये शुरू कर दी जाएगी।
जो मुख्यमंत्री जी ने 5 मांगे बताई, उन पर हम सब लोग सहमत करते हुए और एक समयबद्ध वे सब मांगे पूरी हो जाए, उन सब पर सहमत होते हुए और ये आशा करते हुए कि जाट समाज को संपूर्ण न्याय सरकार देगी और सरकार की नीयत पे पूरा भरोसा है कि इस बार जो समझौता हुआ है उस पर संपूर्ण रूप से वो समझौता खरा उतरेगा। और हमने सरकार को ये विश्वास दिलाया कि जो कल का जाट दिल्ली कूच का 20 तारीख का कार्यक्रम था वो स्थगित कर दिया गया और अब दिल्ली जाट नहीं आएंगे।
News from Uttar Pradesh now. Well, Yogi Adityanath has been sworn in as the 21st Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Well, the swearing-in ceremony took place on Sunday at the Kashi Ram Smriti Upvan in Lucknow. Besides him, Governor Ram Naik also administered the oath of office and secrecy to 2 Deputy Chief Ministers, BJP's State Unit Chief Keshav Prasad Maurya and party's National Vice President Dinesh Sharma. Well, Adityanath also heads a 47-member team comprising 22 cabinet ministers, 9 ministers of state with independent charge and 13 ministers of state. Now, prominent among them are Rita Bahuguna Joshi, Swami Prasad Maurya, Siddharth Nath Singh, Shrikant Sharma and 2 cricketers turned politicians, Chetan Chauhan and Mohsen Raza. Well, the grand ceremony was also attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, BJP President Amit Shah, senior party leaders L.K. Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi, Union Minister M. Venkaiah Naidu, Samajwadi Party leader Mulayam Singh Yadav, outgoing Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav and Chief Ministers of several other states.
मैं आदित्यनाथ योगी उत्तर प्रदेश राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा।
And after the swearing-in, Yogi Adityanath held his introductory meeting with his ministers. Well, the emphasis at the meeting was to root out corruption from the state. But in a strong message, he asked all his ministers to give details of their income, movable and immovable assets within 15 days. Well, the new chief minister also emphasized on coordination between the government and the BJP organization. There has been a decision to train new legislators and also devise ways as to how they can remain connected with the electorate. Well, the decision on portfolios is yet to be taken. While addressing the media after the meeting, Yogi Adityanath said that he will follow the development for all motto. He also said that restoring law and order in the state was also among his top priorities.
केंद्र में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने विकास और सुशासन के माध्यम से सबका साथ और सबका विकास का जो संकल्प लिया है उसका पूरी तरह अनुसरण करते हुए प्रदेश सरकार राज्य की जनता की सेवा करेगी।
एक बड़ा फैसला, मैं कहूंगा कि एक बड़ी बात इस औपचारिक परिचय बैठक में माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी की तरफ से कही गई, क्योंकि भ्रष्टाचार एक बड़ा मुद्दा इस देश के अंदर है हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी ने उसको समूल नष्ट करने का संकल्प लिया है और उसी के तहत जितने भी हमारे मंत्रिपरिषद के सदस्य हैं उन सभी सदस्यों से आग्रह किया गया है कि अपनी आय, आपकी इनकम और चल अचल संपत्ति का पूरा ब्यौरा 15 दिन के अंदर संगठन को भी देना है और मुख्यमंत्री जी के सचिव को भी देना है।
And on the swearing in of the BJP-led government in Uttar Pradesh, well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi exuded confidence that the new team will leave no stone unturned to ensure development in the state. Well, in a series of tweets, Prime Minister Modi said that India will develop when UP develops. He also stressed that the BJP wants to serve the state's youth and create opportunities for them. The Prime Minister said that for India to prosper, UP will have to prosper. He also lauded the efforts of party workers that enabled the BJP to form the government in 4 out of the 5 states that went to polls recently. And the opposition reaction to the swearing-in of Yogi Adityanath has been mixed. Well, BSP chief Mayawati, who boycotted the ceremony, said that the BJP wanted to contest the 2019 general elections by polarizing voters. Well, the Congress leader Virappa Moidi said that this was the biggest ever assault on secularism. Later, he, however, tempered down his official reaction by saying that it will play the role of watchdog of the people's interest. The Samajwadi Party that lost power said that it will play the role of a constructive opposition. Well, the CPMs alleged that the BJP aimed to polarize voters.
इन्होंने ब्राह्मण समाज के साथ बहुत बड़ा विश्वासघात किया है। इन्होंने बैकवर्ड क्लास के साथ बहुत बड़ा विश्वासघात किया है। आगे यह लोकसभा का चुनाव विकास के मुद्दे पर नहीं, बल्कि जिस आदमी को इन्होंने मुख्यमंत्री बनाया है उसको आगे करके ध्रुवीकरण के आधार पर ये चुनाव, लोकसभा का आम चुनाव लड़ना चाहती है।
आशा करता हूं कि जन आकांक्षाओं का नई सरकार सम्मान करेगी, सामाजिक सद्भाव, सांप्रदायिक सौहार्द को मजबूत करेगी।
जो पुराने इनकी इतिहास है, जो सोच है, जो विचार है, जो एक ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है, मैं नहीं समझता कि इतनी जल्दी वो बदल सकता है। और इसलिए जब तक वो स्वरूप, वो सोच, वो विचार और वो ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड नहीं बदलेगा, मैं नहीं समझता कि ये लंबे रेस के घोड़े बन सकते हैं बीजेपी के लिए उत्तर प्रदेश में।
सबका साथ सबका विकास तो नारा मात्र है। अब ये हम लोग चाहेंगे कि भगवान सद्बुद्धि दे उनको, योगी जी को, और सबको मिला जुला के ले चलें, तो इसी में उत्तर प्रदेश का भी भला है।
And news at 10. We'll take a very short break. Up next, more news coming up. Stay with us.
One of the most influential revolutionaries of Indian freedom struggle, Shaheed Bhagat Singh. Born into a Sikh family, patriotism flowed in his blood at the age of 13. When he formed Naujawan Bharat Sabha to spread the message of revolution in Punjab. In the wake of avenging Lala Lajpat Rai's death, Bhagat Singh and his associates coined the catchphrase Inqilab Zindabad. But towards the end of their rebellion, they had to pay a heavy price for their patriotism. Following the blasts inside the corridors of the assembly, both Bhagat Singh and Batukeshwar Dutt courted arrest. Bhagat Singh was sent to the gallows in Lahore with his fellow comrades, after which he was cremated in Hussainiwala on the banks of Satluj.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back after the break. Now, amid the raging debate over freedom of speech, well, President Pranab Mukherjee has invoked Nalanda and Takshila, the ancient centers of learning, to pitch for an atmosphere free of prejudice and violence on the university campuses. Well, Pranab Mukherjee, who was delivering the valedictory address at the International Buddhist Conference in Gaya, underlined that education means the development of mind and constant interaction with the teachers and fellow students. While referring to the ancient learning centers in Nalanda, Takshila and Vikramshila, he said that these attracted great minds in the form of students and teachers from all over the world. While stressing on the issue of terrorism, the president said that it is not just an action but also a mental aberration and an expression of a twisted and a perverted mindset. And nations must think together on how to deal with this menace.
The world is becoming more and more complex. It is complex not merely because of threat to human life, property, or threat to the very existence of some sections of the society, but it is becoming more and more not worth living for the human.
News from the national capital, and political parties are not leaving any stone unturned to gather as much momentum for the upcoming MCD elections on the 22nd of April. Well, the contest, which was primarily restricted to the BJP and the Congress till the last elections, is now witnessing the entry of the Aam Aadmi Party in the fray. And among other entrants is also the Swaraj India Party. Well, it will also be the first time when the Nota option will be made available to the voters. While the BJP, which rules all the 3 poll-bound corporations, has decided not to give any ticket to any sitting councillor and instead has fielded new faces on all the seats. Well, apart from Swaraj India, Shiv Sena and the NCP are also the new entrants in these elections. The voting, which will take place on 22nd of April from 8 in the morning to 5:30 in the evening, will witness about 1.3 crore voters exercising their franchise this time. Meanwhile, the filing of nominations will start from 27th of March and the results would be announced on 25th of April.
खुशी से सभी पार्षदों ने इसको स्वागत किया है और उन्होंने कहा है कि औरों को भी मौका मिलना चाहिए और जो अच्छे पार्षद हैं जिन्होंने बहुत प्रभावी काम किया है उनको पार्टी प्रमोट भी करेगी।
जो नई पार्टी आ रही है उनका योगदान दिल्ली के डेवलपमेंट पे जीरो है। आप पार्टी बनी, आप पार्टी ने दिल्ली को कुछ नहीं दिया। जहां तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सवाल है, बेसिकली सीधा सवाल है, आप सेंटर में थे, आपने दिल्ली को क्या दिया? कुछ नहीं दिया।
हम चुनावी लोकतंत्र में जिस देश में रहते हैं उस देश में सभी पार्टियों को अपने हाथ आजमाने की आज़ादी है, वो आजमा सकते हैं। पिछले 2 वर्षों में कम से कम सब कुछ अगर आप किनारे कर दें तो बिजली, पानी, शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, ये जो महत्वपूर्ण और सबसे बड़े मुद्दे रहे हैं, इसमें कम से कम बीजेपी कांग्रेस के लोग भी इनकार नहीं कर पाते हैं कि आम आदमी पार्टी ने कुछ डिलीवर किया है या नहीं किया है।
On to some other news now. Well, India and Pakistan will hold meeting of the Permanent Indus Commission in Islamabad today. Well, a 10-member Indian delegation arrived in Pakistan yesterday to take part in the 2-day meeting. Well, the Indian delegation is led by India's Indus Water Commissioner P.K. Saxena and the Ministry of the External Affairs officials as well as technical experts. Well, the meeting is taking place nearly 6 months after India decided to suspend talks on the pact in the wake of the Uri terror attack by Pakistan-based outfits. Well, an Indian official said that it is always open to discuss and resolve the concerns that the Pakistan has over its projects under the Indus Waters Treaty bilaterally, but also reiterated that there will be no compromise on India using its due rights under the 57-year-old pact. Well, Pakistan has listed 3 Indian hydroelectric projects in their agenda for discussion, contending that these violate the Indus Water Treaty. It had, remember, approached the World Bank in August last year, raising issue over Kishan Ganga and Ratle projects in Jammu and Kashmir. And External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj on Sunday said that the two Indian clerics, including the head priest of Delhi's Hazrat Nizamuddin Dargah, who went missing in Pakistan, are safe and will be back in Delhi by today. Well, Sushma Swaraj said that she had spoken to one of the clerics who was later tracked after going missing in Pakistan. She further added that she also had spoken to Pakistan Prime Minister's advisor on foreign affairs, Sartaj Aziz, regarding the case. Earlier, Pakistan conveyed to India that both the clerics who went missing were in custody of Pakistan's intelligence agency. Now, official sources revealed that the two have been detained over their alleged links with Muttahida Qawmi movement of Altaf Hussain. Now, sources said that Syed Asif Nizami and his nephew Nazim Nizami were offloaded from Karachi-bound airlines on 14th of March at the Lahore airport, and then they were taken to an undisclosed location for investigation. More news from Pakistan, and Hindus in that country can now marry according to their customs and rituals. On Sunday, Pakistan President Mahmood Hussain promulgated the Hindu Marriage Bill 2017 into a law. Now, with the presidential assent, Pakistan's Hindus will now have an exclusive personal law to regulate their marriages. The law defines the procedures for registration of Hindu marriages and for restitution of conjugal rights, judicial separation, void and voidable marriages, and the termination of marriage. Well, that law is seen as a fruition of strengthening of democracy in Pakistan. Responding to the development, Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif said that the minorities of Pakistan deserve this law as the citizens of the country. Earlier this month, the Pakistani National Assembly had passed the bill after amendments made by the Senate there. And back home, Pyare Mohan Mohapatra, the former member of the Rajya Sabha, passed away at a hospital in Mumbai after prolonged illness. He was 77. Well, he was regarded as the chief strategist and mentor of Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik. Well, Mohapatra was the principal secretary to the Chief Minister when Biju Patnaik occupied the top post. Now, besides his contributions towards strengthening the BJP, Mohapatra played a major role in BJP's move to part ways with the BJP in the run-up to the 2009 general elections. And the strategy worked for the party, and the BJP swept the polls, raising Mohapatra's stature in the party. He was also the Rajya Sabha member from 2010 to 2012. However, Mohapatra was removed from the party in 2012 on charges of attempting a coup to topple Chief Minister when Naveen Patnaik was abroad. Subsequently, he formed the Odisha Jan Morcha and became its founder president. On to news from the Middle East now, and fierce clashes between Syrian security forces and rebels have broken out on the eastern outskirts of capital Damascus. Well, the development came after rebels unexpectedly on Sunday tunneled into the government-held areas after months of losses at the hands of Syrian government forces elsewhere in Syria. Well, artillery shells and rockets landed in the heart of the capital as part of a surprise rebel attack launched in Jobar district. Now, government warplanes retaliated, launching more than 30 airstrikes on rebel positions. Damascus only has a few opposition-held areas, and Jobar is the closest to the city centre. Now, with the recapture of the city of Aleppo last December, President Bashar al-Assad's army reinforced its dominant position across most of the country. Since then, it has been trying to break down the rebel resistance in Damascus and reassert full control of the capital after 6 long years of continuous war. And on to sports news now, when India are looking for a victory on the final day of the Ranchi Test against Australia as the visitors resume their second innings from 23 for 2. Well, Australian captain Stephen Smith and Matt Renshaw are at the crease, and they are looking to survive the day without much damage. Remember, on the 4th day, left-arm spinner Ravindra Jadeja picked up 2 quick wickets, removing opener David Warner and night watchman Nathan Leon to put India in a commanding position. Earlier, Chiteshwar Pujara's double century and Riddhuman Saha's career best score of 117 gave India an important 152 runs lead in the first innings. The hosts had declared, remember, their first innings after scoring 603 for 9, with Jadeja remaining not out on 54 runs. Well, a victory on the final day will give India a 2-1 lead in the 4-match series. That's all in this edition of Breakfast News. Do stay tuned. We have Parliament news coming up in both Hindi and English. Thanks for watching.